What is going on, everybody? Tanner Pfeiffer here with Pfeiffer Football, Tanner Pfeiffer NFL on Twitter. Thank you so much for joining. This is the NFL Rumors Podcast, episode 23 here with the NFL Rumors account. Thank you so much for joining, guys. How are you today?
Hey, I'm doing good, Tanner. I'm doing really good. Happy to be here with you. Excited to talk about some more NFL rumors and news.
Yeah, me too. As we all know, there's a lot going on with free agency right now. People being signed as undrafted free agents. The draft was really exciting. I think extremely unpredictable this season. But right now, it's basically off season. And as we head into OTAs and rookie mini camps, there's a lot to cover. Some rumors and stories that need some attention. So let's just start off and let's kick it off with some of that. What is some major headlines heading into free agency?
Yeah, one of the big things today that Robert Saleh reported was, and there is a lot of speculation around Corey Davis.
Yep.
Um, be-
Oh, yeah,
they,
yeah.
And Robert Saleh said that Corey Davis would remain on the team with the New York Jets this season. A lot of people had speculated in the media
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
he would be a person that could even be moved to the Packers with the Aaron Rodgers trade. He was not. So it seems like Corey Davis has been a guy that they wanted to be part of
Right.
their plans for the team. So it looks like Corey Davis is going to add that to that very talented room. That has already a lot of good people.
Okay, so I tweeted something out today about that, and let me read it off real quick. It was basically just running the depth chart of who they've got at wide receiver. So according to Robert Saleh, like we just covered, they're not expected to move on from Corey Davis. So that wide receiver room right now, guys, for the New York Jets is insane. They have Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, Mecole Hardman, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, Denzel Mims, Malik Taylor, Deontay Spencer. I feel like I'm forgetting one or two key guys, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, man. When you look at just the top four, like you're
Yeah.
talking about Alan Lazard, right? You're talking about Garrett Wilson. You're talking
Yep.
about Randall Cobb. You're talking about Mecole Hardman that they signed. Then you got Corey Davis in the mix. You got Denzel Mims. Like
Yes,
that's a very talented wide receiver room.
it is. I do feel like there's some weaknesses there because not saying Corey Davis isn't proven, but like he just hasn't been the same since he was on the Titans. I mean, you got some guys there. Randall Cobb, age 32 or 33. I love him to death. One of my favorite receivers of all time. But let's be honest, he's like maybe wide receiver 3. I don't trust Alan Lazard completely. I feel like he's a 50-50 chance. You could throw him a ball and he can make a spectacular catch, or he can just drop it. So it's like it's hard to guess with Alan Lazard. I really do feel like, they Garrett Wilson can be he's the guy there, but I feel like they really need someone else to truly be the guy. I'm not sure if Lazard or Hardman can fill that role. What do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely, like you said, Garrett Wilson is the guy there with the Jets. Mecole Hardman will be a really good piece as well. I feel Randall Cobb. I think he'll be one of those receivers that you say 200 or 300 yards from.
Yeah.
Something like that. Corey Davis, I would expect something similar from him. Definitely, but the Garrett Wilson for sure, and Alan Lazard will be the people that get the targets in my view.
Yeah. I'm excited though to watch Aaron Rodgers there. There was another quote today from Robert Saleh said, he sees fire in his eyes, that he's here to win. So I'm excited to watch Aaron Rodgers with a fresh start and new system. Back with Nathaniel Hackett, where he won two back-to-back MVPs at the ages of 37, 38, something like that. So it's just crazy what he's been able to do with Nathaniel Hackett. Even though I don't trust Nathaniel Hackett completely, just because not only his experience with the Denver Broncos, but I always felt like he was kind of streaky with the Packers, hot, cold, drive by drive. But that's a whole other story there.
Yeah. Well, going from the Jets, I want to talk about the coach real quick.
Okay.
Anthony Richardson got on the field for the first time today.
Mm-hmm.
And looking like, just getting them ready, going through the motions of the snaps, checking them.
Hmm.
But Anthony Richardson, and of course, this is a rumor, but there's a lot of rumors around that Anthony Richardson out of the gate could be the starter for the Colts.
I, I mean, yeah, they released Nick Foles today. Um, so I mean, who else? I mean, it's Anthony Richardson. It was
Gardner
Nick
Minshew.
Foles. Oh, that's right. They got Gardner Minshew. They signed him, which I think he does have potential.
Hmm.
But I don't think they signed him to be the starter. They signed him to be a backup.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree with you. They got him in that way. If Anthony Richardson's not ready, they could put Gardner Minshew in there.
yeah.
So I think that is a key that they could use him there. Looking at that though, it seems that they really are pushing Anthony Richardson early on, and the owner said it would be the coach's decision for
Hmm.
sure. But I think Anthony Richardson definitely has a shot at being a starter there. But we'll have to see how his progression comes through the mini camps and everything of that nature to see if he can truly be the number one ahead of Gardner Minshew.
Well, they did start their camps today. So that is exciting. I saw a picture of Richardson throwing the ball.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm just excited to see how he does. I definitely think there's a lot of risk there with that pick, fourth overall. Was it fourth overall? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
got it. You
So
got it.
there's definitely a lot of risk there. I feel like he was not even going to be a top 2 round pick until his crazy combine. So he's got a lot to prove, I feel like.
Yeah, and Will Levis, the coach, said as well about him, as
Oh,
we're going to
yeah.
just touch base a little bit about him, that they would have picked Will Levis if Anthony Richardson would have been gone. Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah. He had like 2 visits there, I think.
yep. So, everybody thought that actually Will Levis was going to be the pick there when everything went down. But Anthony Richardson, I think they've seen a lot of Lamar Jackson, honestly,
Hmm.
there, and because they were rumored to be like, sniffing around Lamar Jackson a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think they were probably thinking, could this guy turn into Lamar Jackson? If not, we definitely got Gardner Minshew there, who's showed like a lot of ability in the past to still run an offense until I get the next level guy that I might need.
Yeah. There's just so much to to cover. I do feel like Will Levis would have been a solid pick there. I say solid, but I guess it would have been a riskier pick. I actually would feel more confident heading in with Richardson. I feel like there's more upside with Richardson rather than Will Levis.
Hmm.
But he
Right. The
was,
ceiling's a lot higher for Richardson
I
than
think
it
so.
is for Will Levis. Correct.
Yeah, and either way, no matter which way they go, whether they're starting Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson, it's going to be like the sixth starting quarterback in the sixth year. You know what I'm saying? This is like the sixth different year they've had a starting quarterback since Andrew Luck has retired. So it's like they may as well. Like, what do you got to lose? Start Richardson, see what you can get.
Definitely, definitely. I think that is one of the big plans that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to touch base really quick with about the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Eagles drafted all those Georgia boys for
Yeah.
sure. They got a whole team full of that defense, Georgia Bulldogs. They got
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Carter. They got Nolan Smith. Jordan Davis.
Is it Ringo?
Ringo, definitely, and just so many from that team, and to build around, and it'll be very interesting. Jalen Carter was the first draft pick signed; he already signed his deal, so it'll be very interesting to see what Jalen
For
Carter
sure.
will do with that defense, right? And
Yeah.
to see what he can do because the Eagles, I feel, had a really good draft, one of the best
Already signed his
drafts,
deal.
and
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what that team's going to look like in the offseason because you already got Jalen Hurts coming back with AJ Brown, so it's going to be a very good team. The Eagles should have.
I still think. I mean, don't get me wrong. They had an amazing draft, but trading for DeAndre Swift, um, they still don't. I feel like since Shady McCoy was there, they still don't use their running backs correctly. Um, I just feel like they're going to be heading into the season with a new offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. They've gotten some amazing pieces on defense. They lost some, but they got some back. But I think they have a very short window here. If it wasn't last year and it's not this year, I don't know if the Eagles can make it. That's a hot take, I know, but that's my take on that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Eagles do. They're going to have a younger defense that they're going to try to put in, but they got some veterans there to show them the way, like Brandon Graham, for
Mm-hmm.
example, Fletcher Cox. And those next tier of guys that they drafted are going to be being developed. Like Nakobe Dean, for example. The Eagles lost in free agency some of the linebacker talent, and
Yeah.
Nakobe Dean will jump in there this year and get a shot at starting. So that's going to be very interesting to see. I'm going to tell you a hot take for me is about the San Francisco 49ers. Last
Oh.
night, Sam Darnold, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey was at the game all together, the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And Christian McCaffrey says that Sam Darnold is a heck of a leader. He played with him in Carolina. You might end up seeing Sam Darnold being the starting quarterback next year for the 49ers.
At least in week 1, you could, because they signed Sam Darnold. Didn't they sign someone else?
Yeah, they signed
Brandon Allen.
Brandon. Yeah, he won't have a shot. He's more of a camp body, I believe.
I think so as well, but I don't know. Like, I think the situation at quarterback for the 49ers may be worse than they want it to seem. I think who opens the season as starting quarterback? Sam Darnold or Trey Lance? Because I don't feel like Brock Purdy's going to be ready to roll, or he may be ready or medically cleared, but like, why risk it when you don't have to?
Yeah, they'll give him a little extra time. Sam Darnold will. He actually played really well for the Panthers when he was
Mm-hmm.
in there. And I think Christian McCaffrey was a big advocate. I mean, it wasn't reported, but I feel that he's a big advocate to get Sam Darnold there to San Francisco.
He had to be.
And yeah,
Who else would sign him?
right, for sure. But Trey Lance is who honestly they want Trey Lance to come in and take this job from Sam Darnold. Right?
They
You know,
do.
yeah, but right now the thing about it is Sam Darnold is a lot more accurate than Trey Lance is. Right? So as of right now, as we're speaking, that could change as we get into training camp and we can see if his accuracy improved. But Sam Darnold can make those throws that those reads and things of that nature. He is not going to be the big throw down the field like Trey Lance is,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Sam Darnold will probably end up starting for the
You
49ers to
know,
start the year.
speaking of the 49ers, I do want to give a quick shout out to my guy, Isaiah Winstead, signed by the 49ers as a undrafted free agent out of Eastern Carolina. Had 88 catches for over 1,000 yards and like 6 touchdowns. The dude is huge. I mean, he looks like Megatron almost. And he finally got signed. I've been trying to cover his process, but saw that the 49ers announced the signing. So congratulations to him. I'll have to check up with him soon to see how everything's going, but I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be a freaking roster spot for sure.
Yeah, and one of the things, guys, we wanted to make a shout out also to Tanner. Shout out him. He done an excellent job covering some of these undrafted free agents. He was like one of the top people out
Appreciate it.
there covering the free agents out there. I know I've talked to a couple people that was telling me that they were definitely wanting to get engaged with them for sure for covering the free agents. He was actually at the top of covering a lot of those undrafted free agents. So you definitely,
Thank you, sir.
if you want to hear about that, you guys better hit him up on his Twitter, and he does a really good job putting all that together. Some of the videos for those undrafted free agents, or if you are an undrafted free agent and you've not got a team yet, maybe you want to send your stuff to Tanner and he can put it out there for you.
That's right, guys. I've been blessed this whole draft process. I've met more players and agents than I ever thought I could or would, and made some good connections so far, and just met some really great young men as well. So I'd love to chat with anyone out there, especially if you're trying to get an opportunity. I've been getting so many messages. I'm going to be honest with you. I woke up to 10 messages yesterday on Twitter, from players asking to get, their footage out there and all that. And I don't mind helping people, but I got to pick and choose as well. to get out there, because it's like you gotta you gotta have those next level stats and talent, and because otherwise I'll have 500 people that I have to try to help get out there. But I also try to get it out there to my Instagram as well. I've got 60,000 on there. So just trying to use my platforms to help others has been a big key, and meeting a lot of these undrafted guys who are actually being signed.
Yeah, and Jaden Hazelwood.
Hazelwood, yeah.
Yep, he actually is going to. He's he was on our podcast, and he's going to sign. He signed with the Eagles, which he talked about us on the podcast about playing with Jalen Hurts, and that was a really cool story that they went over with there, and Tanner was able to cover. So we we're blessed to have Jaden on there. We had we had a couple other people that were drafted as well on the podcast. The videos are on there if you want to check those out, guys, for sure.
Yeah, we had DJ Dale just signed with the Buffalo Bills. He's a 4-year starter at Alabama. So check out that podcast as well. That was episode 22. Got a lot of cool insight. Him playing with playing with a lot of these first round picks, and playing under Nick Saban. So really cool information there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, guys, one of the big things that I want to cover, we was talking about the rumors and things. One of the things we was talking about yesterday, there's a lot of speculation. Of course, this is a rumor, right? We want to throw that out there. A rumor was that the Atlanta Falcons and Arizona Cardinals discussed a Kyler Murray trade at the draft. Um, I would imagine that the calls were more just checking in
Yeah.
rather than actual trade happening. But they were report several media outlets reported that the Falcons did engage with the trade with Kyler Murray and just checked on him. But I did hear this today, Tanner, which I've not tweeted yet, but I will later, that Ryan Tannehill actually had a more focused conversation with the Titans and Falcons.
Ryan
So
Tannehill about a trade?
yeah, about a trade with the Falcons and the Titans. And that makes a lot of sense, actually. I'm going to tell you why. It's because they run the exact same
Arthur
offense
Smith.
in Atlanta.
Yeah, Arthur Smith.
Yep. There you go. So it seems like the Falcons did check in on Kyler Murray. They checked in on Ryan Tannehill during the process there. One of the rumors that we heard last night we want to throw your way is Seattle Seahawks were named the best fit for a trade for Malik Willis.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, I think that too, because think about this. Like, he could actually learn under Geno Smith, a quarterback with some similar traits as his.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool for him to do that. I know that me and Tanner cover a lot of the XFL players too, and Ben DiNucci actually got an invite to the Broncos camp, and Hakeem Butler got an invite to the Steelers camp.
If you guys don't remember Hakeem Butler, I think he was an Arizona Cardinal. Did pretty well there. It kind of just fell off the depth chart eventually, I think. But did well in the XFL this year. I think he was the leading receiver.
Yeah, definitely. He had a really, really good season for sure. Tom Brady broke some rumors down. Now, Andrew Marchland reported this yesterday. A lot of people grabbed it and sourced it, right?
Yeah, I saw.
But Tom Brady said it was all fake news, right? He said he is not quitting his $375 million deal with Fox. He intends on going through the whole deal with Fox today, is what he said.
Is he supposed to start this season?
Next season.
The 2024 season?
Yeah, 2024. That's going to be Tom Brady. He'll start a $375 million contract.
Is Drew Brees supposed to start?
I'm not sure on that one. I might have to check on that. I'm not 100% on that one, Tanner.
I'm not either.
Nope. One of the things that I wanted to bring you with Tanner today is, a lot of people wrote me about all the free agents that's still remaining, right? So we had that on the website of the 40 best free agents remaining. We're updating that daily when they sign. So I want to talk to you about some rumors of some people I heard of where they might land. These are just rumors right now, nothing reported 100%. These are just the rumors where they're linked to, but I want to share that with you. And a lot of times when these rumors are linked to them, most of the time you see a 75% truth of them happening, right? So Leonard Floyd was the first name that I wanted to start with. He's been linked, Tanner, to the Chargers.
Chargers.
Yep. Remember that he played with Brandon Staley there
Yeah.
with the Rams as well.
True.
Yep. So he was one of them. Isaiah Wynn, a Georgia boy. It's very interesting that the Eagles are not all over him. But
Yeah.
but the 49ers have interest in Isaiah Wynn.
I could see it. They need it. They need the help.
Yep. So one of the other interests that we have is Frank Clark. Frank Clark has some interest with the Seattle Seahawks.
A return?
The return.
Do you think he'd actually do that? I guess
Not
Bobby
sure.
Wagner came back, so.
Yeah, but another name that I have heard with Frank Clark is the Chicago Bears.
Ew.
Yep. another name that I'm going to let you pronounce it, and so that I won't actually botch
Is it Yannick Ngakoue?
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah, he has been linked to the Bears as well.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yannick Ngakoue. So we got some big time free agents still remaining, guys. So it's not just about people who have been undrafted and are rookies. There are some big free agents still out there that need signed. There's still quite a bit of wide receivers, pass rushers, and offensive linemen. Let's talk about the offensive lineman that just got signed by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Donovan Smith.
Yeah, Donovan Smith signed a 1-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. I know he's definitely had some issues with penalties and holding and all that, but I feel like if he can get coached right and is around the right people and plays with the right, like the right oomph behind him, you're playing for Patrick Mahomes, basically competing for a Super Bowl every single season. So you got some potential to turn into a star.
Yeah, and one of the free agents we talked about as well is Rocky Sin signed with the Ravens.
Yep.
Puna Ford signed with the Bills. Ezekiel Elliott, he's a big name. He's been linked back to the Cowboys. He's been linked to the Chargers. There's a couple of names. The Chargers will be an interesting fit due to the fact that Kellen Moore's their offensive coordinator. I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, true.
That would be it. Kareem Hunt. So this is an interesting one for the Browns, Tanner.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt could end up coming back to Cleveland because they did try to trade for DeAndre Swift before the Eagles got him. But so that will be an interesting one there that Kareem Hunt might end up going back there. So
yeah, but I know he was wanting to get a multi-year deal and get paid quite a bit. But the running back market has taken a dip. For sure, especially signed in free agency. The first week of free agency was insane. The running back market was not what people were thinking it was going to be. It was more realistic. Meanwhile, the quarterback market still continues to rise, but not Saquon, but Kareem Hunt is probably having a reality check of what he's expecting to get. So a return to Cleveland probably is in play.
Yeah, and Leonard Fournette is another one I would say to watch out for the Chargers with.
That's right. You got Lenny. I forgot about Lenny.
Yep, you got him with the Chargers. Adrian Amos, this is more instead of a rumor of a visit. Adrian Amos has visited with the Baltimore Ravens. So that will be one that I would say still watch on. Jarvis Landry wants to return to the Saints. It'll be interesting to see if they will because they've actually added some different receivers there.
Yeah.
So that will be a name to watch there. John Johnson, a lot of rumors around him going back to the Rams.
Dude, that poor guy he's had 3 stints with the Browns and Rams.
Yep, there you go. Another name that we have heard, a couple of these names to New England, and these make a ton of sense because Bill really likes bringing his guys back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Kyle Van Noy and Trey Flowers.
Why did I know you were going to say Kyle Van Noy?
Yeah, there you go. Kenny Galladay. he's not been rumored anywhere, but I would still say like the Colts might be the number one team to look at
Yeah,
because that's where he's had the most success under that particular offensive coordinator, right?
that's
So
true. He had his best season in Detroit there with that
yeah,
offensive coordinator.
right. Justin Houston's a name to watch. A lot of people could be looking at the Bears there still. They're looking for a pass rusher. A lot of people could be very much interested in Justin Houston at
Yeah.
this point. Melvin Ingram's another one. A lot of teams could be interested in. Um, Casey Hayward is a name that we could look at for the I would say one team that jumps out to me on Casey Hayward's the Raiders because he really liked playing there
Hmm.
when he did for the Raiders. So Casey Hayward or a team looking for a cornerback, that would be a very interesting pickup there.
But he is what, like a 32, 33-year-old corner. Had a great
Mhm.
season, or 2 seasons, I think, with the Raiders.
Yep.
Recent release by the Falcons. But I don't know. I loved him when he was with Green Bay, but man, he just can't stay healthy.
Yep, you got it. Julio Jones, is still up. He said that he wanted to
Julio.
play. He wanted to play again, right? So
Hmm.
you know the team that I would say that he would be a perfect fit for is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, who doesn't fit there?
Yeah, because all that young receiver talent they got, and you put Julio, he doesn't have to like be the main man there.
Yeah.
He could teach some of the younger players there. I think that would be a really good call. One of the big teams that we want to talk about just really quick, the Buccaneers said that they're looking to add a veteran quarterback. I would imagine, they got Baker Mayfield already. I think the best person that they could honestly add to me would be Matt Ryan, right? Because Matt Ryan could actually
All
sit in the
right.
quarterback room with Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield and kind of go over the game film and things like that with them to have like a veteran leader in that room.
I just don't see Matt Ryan. I feel like if Matt Ryan is going to play in the NFL, he wants to be a starter. I don't see him going in a situation where he's not a starter. I don't know if he'll even be signed for the 2023 season. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he'll end up going somewhere maybe as a backup or something, but not sure exactly where that might be. Carson Wentz is still out there too. I mean, it's
Uh,
going to be he's going to have to get in a job that he's going to have to be a backup and try to earn his stripes somewhere to get it.
yeah, I don't see him being a starter again. That's for sure. Not anytime soon.
Yep,
You
just
also have Nick Foles that was released today.
yep. He's the one that we don't have on the list, but adding Nick Foles, it wouldn't shock me if the Eagles give him a call.
Again.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Jalen Smith, who played with the Giants, I think somebody that's needing a linebacker, he would be a really good pick there. Quan Alexander said that he'd like to return to the Jets, and the Jets want him to return. I would,
Yep.
I would seem like that's a really good deal, probably
They
for both
need they
of
need
them.
help up the middle.
Yep, that would be a really good deal. Sammy Watkins is a receiver a lot of people really don't talk about out there. I know the Rams really like him, right? And
Yeah.
he did well there. So it'll be interesting to see if Sammy Watkins goes back to the Rams. But one of the big names out there that I do not think will return to the Baltimore Ravens, right? And he's the last one we want to talk about real quick is
Hmm.
Marcus Peters
Oh
because
yeah.
they just signed Rocky Sin, right?
Right.
Right. So Marcus Peters is a big name out there with Shaquille Griffin. To me, that those are the two best cornerbacks available. San
Hmm.
Francisco definitely could use some help at corner to add a guy like Shaquille Griffin. He actually already knows the system they're running, right? And Shaquille Griffin, to me, would be a really good pick for San Francisco. Marcus Peters could go a lot of different places. You know what? The Rams are a team too. I know we mentioned Rams a couple times here, but the Rams, Marcus Peters was played there. It
Hmm.
wouldn't surprise me if because they've got a really good relationship with a lot of their players, and they got some fits at good. Um, they have to make it good financial situations to bring back. So you never know; they might hit this 40 free agent list pretty hard.
I definitely think the Rams are in a help me mode. I don't think they're going to be competing. Go back to the Super Bowl. Even with a healthy Matthew Stafford, I just See them struggling still.
Yeah, I think so. Looking at everything, I think that is, it'll be interesting to see what happens there with that. But there's the 43 agents out there, and we want to just end things like with the biggest news today for sure. We talked about
Yes.
Carson. We talked about, oh, I said Carson Wentz. Nick Foles released from the Colts, something that we've been expecting. Tom Brady shoots down the report that he's not going to go to Fox Sports. It's fake news. And Jalen Carter was the first draft pick to sign this offseason. So really happy for Jalen Carter there. And also the Sauce Gardner got to meet with Jessica Alba. I
Woo-wee.
know that shouldn't be news, but
It was funny.
that's, yeah, it was funny for sure. Yeah. So probably the biggest news we're gonna have all week, honestly, is Lamar Jackson, signing that big mammoth deal. And he said yesterday, just a couple things that we want to go over before we end things today. Is he said that he wants to throw 6,000 yards with his new weapons, and he didn't want to play with any other team. Even though there's a lot of speculation, he always wanted to be a Raven.
Yeah, he also said that teams had called, but he just wasn't interested in entertaining calls. Really, he was focused on just getting a deal done with the Ravens. And he said goes back to when he was drafted. He said he wants to bring Baltimore a Super Bowl. He's sticking to it.
Yeah, so sounds good. Sounds good with everything there. Guys, just a reminder, make sure you tune in as Tanner does daily videos on his channel. We do daily videos on mine. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you comment, like, tell us what you think. Make sure that you're following all the social media accounts. We're going to be covering all the news and rumors around these free agents. All of that is going to go down, and plus all the camps open up, so we can give you all the breaking coverage there as well. Make sure you turn your notifications on and be following the NFL rumors, and be following Tanner as he breaks down all the news and rumors, all the news mostly with Tanner, but he'll be breaking down all the news and also a lot of the undrafted free agent videos that and news that might be coming to your team during the training camp.
Absolutely, guys. These rookie mini camps right now are a big deal just because there's some guys out there with a lot of talent that can end up making the roster. You go from a 90-man roster down to a 53-man roster as these guys try to earn their spot. There's still a lot of talent available who need some invites, so keep your eyes open, and you'll see a bunch of coverage on that as well.
Great. Anything that you want to end the broadcast with today, Tim?
Well, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. If you're listening on Twitter, appreciate you. Make sure you follow us both, turn on post notifications, and check out our podcast wherever you're listening, whether it's Apple, Spotify, et cetera. We're on almost all platforms. Make sure you guys just hit that follow button or subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening on. We appreciate it. We're going live every single Friday, and we hope to have this podcast taken off pretty soon, guys. We have a lot of big stuff coming up.
Definitely. And one thing that on the podcast we're really working on bringing you a big Hall of Fame interview, somebody going into the Hall of Fame. So we're working on that interview for you, and make sure that you go back and look at all the other videos. You might be interested, like if you're an Eagles fan, looking at Jaden Hazelwood, that interview there. If you are a Bills fan, looking at the interview there. There are a lot of different interviews that we got, and definitely some of the undrafted free agents that's not been picked yet. We had a couple interviews there as well. So make sure that you check out the history on that channel. That way you can look and, take a look at that video if that's what you want to do.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We will see you next week. Like I said, like, subscribe. This has been the NFL Rumors Podcast. Take it easy.
Okay, thanks, guys.